with Makhachev and Volkanovski, watching it with the companion crew. Obviously, we're drinking. Obviously, we're under the influence of a few things. But we watched that fight. You know, we're talking and bullshit. We miss things. This one we really pay attention to. But I feel like we kind of got this one. There's an argument we got this one right. I posted on my Instagram our reaction. You can play that, Chin.
Yes, those he dropped him! He dropped him with the right hand! Oh my God, he's on!
What is going on?
Oh my God, he's on top!
What?
He won the fight.
My God!
Fight's over.
Give me my money!
Oh my God! Oh my God! Look at he's ripping
Are
the
you
body!
kidding me?
Oh my God!
Are you kidding me?
Oh my God! This is incredible!
Brendan Schaub?
Oh
You
my
called
God!
it.
Volkanovski is a savage.
I stand corrected. Volkanovski is the GOAT.
No. You bet against him.
Oh my God!
Let me back out. Let me back
Oh
out.
my God! Look at
Bro,
this.
36
35 seconds to go. All he has to do is not get submitted and stay on top, and he's the double champ.
No.
No,
What are
they're
you
gonna give it to
talking
him.
about?
It's
He's winning this
Australia.
round.
I mean, even compromise though, you know, Rogan seen more people get punched in the face than anyone. So, you know, even when Rogan's on that train, I mean, Eddie didn't say much, but he thought he won. Brian's, you know, just all over the place, but Brian did get some stuff right. You know, my reason for picking Volkanovski in this fight is just I think we underestimated his champion mentality, that Mamba mentality. You know, the guy hasn't lost a fight in how long? Last time he lost, he fought it was a David Goliath type of situation. So him going to that fight, he legit thought he could win. I think the fight, which to me, one of the greatest UFC fights of all time, the pound for pound number 1 in his prime versus pound for pound number 2. I do think that both of these gentlemen, which made it for a great fight, underestimated each other. Volkanovski underestimated Makhachev's striking, and Makhachev underestimated Volkanovski's grappling. And I said this in the campaign. I went, hey, are we just biased because it's a David Goliath type of situation? We've been drinking freaking whiskey. You know, going into the fight, so many people, big name people in this business go, Makhachev's going to slice through him like butter. But when you take that out of it, you take the hype out of it, you take the biasy out of it, and you look at that fight as just a normal viewer without the bias, and would you still squirt for Volkanovski? I don't know. That really doesn't matter because it is Alexander Volkanovski coming up the 55, fighting not only a 55er, but a gigantic 55er who's eventually going to 170 and become a double champ there. You know, I do think the judges that gave 4 rounds of 1, I think that's a little extreme. 3-2 is fair, depending on how you score it. The second and fourth is where this fight was determined. You know, the fifth, clear as day. The first, clear as day. The third, you should probably give it to Volkanovski, right? So if you give Volkanovski the third and the fifth, that's easy. The fourth round gets a little dicey because although Volkanovski was being controlled, which is a dominant position, Volkanovski was landing shots there, but he was still being controlled, and they weren't significant shots. So depending on how you view fighting, you could give Volkanovski that fourth round, but most likely 99% of the time, you're not going to give a guy, despite it being a smaller guy fighting a bigger guy, you're probably not going to give it to Volkanovski because he's being controlled. And we realize how good Volkanovski is on the ground. My God, dude. Volkanovski showed more skill. Volkanovski showed more technique. And in the exchanges, even on the feet, I thought Volkanovski, and it's clear, it landed more. But because he's not as big, it didn't do as much damage. But if they're the same size, he would have finished him. So the pound for pound thing's a little dicey. I think it's weird to put Islam over Volkanovski. So this Verdict scorecard.
Verdict MMA, yeah.
Yeah, Verdict MMA, which does it digitally.
Globally,
too, had Volkanovski win the fight.
Yeah.
So they gave Volkanovski the second round, which I agree with. The third round, that's clear. Mm-hmm. And then the fifth one, clear as day.
Yeah.
Clear as day.
Yeah, I think we all agree on this, too. I think we all think Volk won.
You think Volk won?
I definitely do, yeah.
Yeah, and you wouldn't, that fifth round, 10-8, you know, was the most significant punch in the fight that dropped them. Then for Volkanovski to end up on top, Alexander Volkanovski is a guy where he's gotten bigger from this. Mm-hmm. More people root for him. More people saw his heart. Now you realize how talented Volkanovski is.